Royal Rebounds TV with Calvin and Barry. Just two crazy fans of the Sacramento Kings, and they sharing their opinion. So be sure that you subscribe. It's for the fans, by the fans. Whether you chilling on the couch or wilding in the stand. For laid back conversations about the Kings, subscribe here. Staying down until we come up thinking this gon' be our year. We're here, drinking beer, talking about the Kings. Be sure you subscribe so you can hear that bell ring, yeah.
The Kings won, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Kings won, yeah. The Sacramento Kings, oh, yeah, the Kings won, yeah. Fox is so fast. Sabonis is so strong, yeah. Coach Mike is so smart, yeah. They are the playoff bound, yeah.
What's up, Kings fans? Welcome back to Royal Rebounds, the Sacramento Kings YouTube channel for fans, by fans. If you're a Kings fan, smash up that like button and please hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. We are live after every single Kings game this season. Calvin, TGIF, man. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. Thankfully, the Kings survived that one. Barry, we got the victory chain now, 2 games in a row. The Island boys are playing. You know it's going to be a good night.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. Another Kings victory, and this time it's over the LA Lakers. LeBron James sits out in this game. Anthony Davis was questionable due to an illness. He ends up playing tonight. But no matter, the Kings win 120-114 and improve themselves to 5-6 on the season, Calvin. That's right. We're 1 game away from 500. And I got to say, man, we could potentially be on a 6-game winning streak here if it wasn't for this other BS going on with the referees. But, hey, I'm happy, man. We're getting some W's. This is feeling good, man. We're 1 game under 500, and we're above the Warriors and the Lakers here in the standings. So I'm really, really happy. What were your first thoughts on the game tonight?
It wasn't pretty, but the Kings found a way to grind it out in the second half. I think Mike Brown coached a really, really good game tonight. I thought he made some good adjustments at halftime. The Kings were not getting anything going inside early other than Sabonis, who really kept them in the first quarter. They could not shoot at all in the first half. Very sloppy and careless passing the ball. Lots of turnovers, 10 turnovers in the first half. They corrected those mistakes in the second half, came out a little bit more engaged, only 5 turnovers in the second half, got some three-point shots to fall, and give a lot of credit to De'Aaron Fox, who took over down the stretch, big bucket after big bucket after big bucket. And the Kings stepped it up those final few possessions defensively as well. The Lakers were trying to play through Anthony Davis, and the Kings did a great job of doubling him quickly, forcing him to give the ball up and looking for the second option offensively.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody here in the chat. We got Gothan here, Jeremiah, PK, Progressive G, Derek, Tito, Steven, Charlie, Callum. Welcome in, everybody. Ninja Style, welcome in. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hopefully you guys are having as wonderful of a Friday as we are here. And obviously compounding everything with a Kings victory, it feels good. Matthew, yes, we win tonight, 120-114 over the Lakers. As Steven says here, the Lakers are absolutely terrible. Let's go ahead here and dive a little bit into the box score. I can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. All right, so Sabonis, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists in 32 minutes tonight, is in foul trouble. He had 4 fouls, I believe, in the third quarter. Ends this game with 5 fouls, so he did not foul out. 13 points for Harrison Barnes in 31 minutes. Only 2 points tonight for Keegan Murray, unfortunately. 16 points for Kevin Huerter. And an absolutely huge monster game for De'Aaron Fox, who had 0 points in the first quarter of this game, but he ends with 32 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists, 36 minutes of action. We see him get a couple steals in this game, played some great defense. We're definitely going to have a lot to talk about with De'Aaron Fox, so we'll get into that a little bit. Did not score
in the first quarter either, so that's 32 points in 3 quarters.
Yeah, it's wild. 10 points for Metu off the bench, 6 for Davion Mitchell, 12 points for Terrence Davis, and my boy Malik Monk, 8 points and 3 assists for him tonight. Looking here at the LA Lakers, 24-14 for Anthony Davis. Pretty much what you can expect out of him. 19 points for Lonnie Walker. That was pretty much it for the starters tonight, but 21 huge points for Russell Westbrook off the bench, 11 assists, 4 rebounds. This dude made 4 threes in this game. I swear this is probably one of the best nights I've seen Russell Westbrook have shooting the ball in quite a while. And then 19 points for Austin Reeves off the bench as well. But the Lakers fall tonight, and it feels pretty good. Calvin, looking here at this score here, or the box score, what stands out most to you?
Man, I'm not sure that there's one thing that stands out most to me. I think the turnover number is really key, right? Because 10 turnovers in the first half, like I said before, the passes were incredibly careless and sloppy, really from everybody, especially Fox, who is coming off, I think, a 8 assist, 0 turnover game. I thought he was really dialed in that Cleveland game, and then it was, frustrating to see them not value the ball as much here in the second half, or in the first half, sorry. But in the second half, again, I think Mike Brown really reset everyone in the locker room, was able to get them, focused. And it wasn't pretty, like everybody is saying, but you got to grind out some ugly wins on the road to be a good team, and that's what they were able to do.
Yeah, great point. Faquan's here. Shout out to him. Jeremiah, Guy, thank you guys so much for joining in here. Derek Ninja says, scouting report is to let Westbrook shoot. And of course, he would hit his threes tonight against us. Yeah, it's a bunch of BS in my opinion. But hey, guys, I need you guys to take a quick break and hit that thumbs up button down there. Hit that like button. We need to get some more likes on this video. Calvin, how many likes do we need tonight to guarantee a win against the Warriors on Sunday?
45.
45 is the number. So help us get to that number, and we can get our revenge against the Golden State Warriors, who we've already lost twice to this season. Dude, half their wins have come against the Sacramento Kings this year. It's crazy, man. We just keep getting matched up against the Golden State Warriors. It's crazy. Back here looking at the box score and the team stats, the things that really stuck out to me in this game was the Lakers shot 40% from three-point range. This is incredible. This is like the worst shooting team in the NBA. They shoot 40% tonight from three-point range, make 10 threes. Things that stood out for me for the Sacramento Kings, number one was free throws. The Kings were 18-21 from the free throw line. That's something that you and I, Calvin, have been talking about for a while. Those are basically free points, right, that you leave on the board. The Kings shoot 85% from the free throw line in this game, which was very, very important for them. Rebounds were pretty even in this game. Much different story than the last game, where the Kings got out rebounded by an incredible number. Assists are pretty close. The Kings win by 5 in that category. You mentioned it. Turnovers is unfortunate. The Kings turned the ball over 15 times tonight, but they forced 14 for the Lakers, so pretty even there. But points in the paint, dude. 60 for Sacramento, 58 tonight for the Lakers, so pretty even. But I think it was definitely in the playbook tonight for the Kings to get to the basket, and you see that there as well. All right, so Tito says, I'm happy, ready for revenge. PK is happy as well. Oh, man, it's just a good win out here tonight, guys. It is really a good win. Let's talk a little bit about some of these Kings players. First, I want to start off with Domantas Sabonis. It was unfortunate he got in foul trouble tonight in this game. That's something that you and I have been talking about, is kind of a key for him. But hey, they're playing against a pretty bad Lakers team here, so it didn't really hurt the Kings too much. But a huge game offensively for him, 21 points, 9 of 15 from the field, 10 rebounds. And, unfortunately, those misses came off some pretty easy shots. We saw him miss a couple layups in this game and some stuff close to the basket. But, Calvin, what did you like? What did you dislike out of Domantas Sabonis tonight?
Well, again, I loved how he was aggressive early on. I think the Kings have tried to make it a point to get him involved offensively early on, and he's always involved, right, because they run so much offense through him. But in terms of posting him up, trying to be aggressive, looking to score early on, I think that they've made a good adjustment with that, both himself personally and the team, these past few games. They could not shoot, obviously, at all in the first quarter or for much of the first half. So he really was able to keep things close for a while. He had 10 of his 12 first-half points in the first quarter, I believe. So I liked how aggressive he was. And then, you don't like the tic-tac fouls. It's been a problem for him all year long. Part of it is just, being the only big man and having to patrol the paint, guard the other team's biggest player, plus play help defense on the guards that penetrate. But some of the fouls that I don't like are the fouls that he picks up, away from the ball, outside of the lane. There's a play tonight that I can remember specifically. Anthony Davis is coming down at the elbow to set a screen, and Sabonis creates the contact. It's maybe a bang-bang play, could go either way, but it's unnecessary. There's no need to be drawing that foul, especially when you've already got, I think it was 3 or 4 at that point in the game. So those are the types of fouls that you really get frustrated, I think, if you're a coach. The fouls where you're inside trying to make plays on the ball and rebounds and stuff like that, it's unfortunate, but you live with those at the end of the day, right, when he's the only big that they really have. It's the fouls you get 10 to 15 feet away from the basket, away from the ball even. That's the stuff that would frustrate me the most if I was coaching this team.
Shout out to my guy Charlie here. Always appreciate you, Charlie. I'm not a big fan of running the polls. I feel like it clogs up the chat, but I can definitely ask you guys some questions and have you guys answer in the chat. I think that's a great idea. Also, I see Dylan in here. That was a good win. I mean, it was a win, right? All wins are good. I don't care how ugly the game is.
I don't know if you can have a bad win.
2 months from
win
now,
is a win.
Towards the end of the season, when you're looking at the schedule, all I'm going to see is a green W. It's not going to say anything about ugly, good, bad. There's just going to be a big green W next to the Kings there. So I'm definitely happy about that. Oh, Derek. Derek's got a question for you, Calvin. He says, how many likes for Calvin to do the Island Boys intro? Derek, I think you need to clarify here. Does Calvin need the face tats and all that stuff, or you just want him to sing it? What do you think, Cal?
If the face tats are included, we're going to need, I'm going to say 1 million likes on this video at least.
Hey, we got some Sharpies, man. They don't got to be real tattoos.
That's fine. It'll still have to be 1 million likes.
That's funny. Just sing it. How much to sing it, Cal?
Just to sing it, $250.
All right, we need 250 likes. You guys better start texting all your
friends. And that ends when the video stops. It doesn't count if 2 days from now there are 250 likes on this video.
What do you mean, dude? That should totally count. If there's 250 likes, you should sing it for the next podcast.
He asked me what the stipulations are. Those are the stipulations.
Sorry, guys. I tried. What up, Fred? Shout out to you. Fred, were you at the game tonight? I'm interested. You're here in the chat early, so I'm guessing probably not. But it must have been a lot of fun to watch. Shout out to Deuce Mason here, killing it on Twitter. Fire the laser.
Yeah, this is money. Money right here.
The laser. I'm excited. I want to see some lasers in the sky. If you guys like the laser, let me know in the chat. I think it's a great idea and definitely something that's going to pump up Sacramento. Everyone's going to be like, what's that in the sky over there? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Oh, wait. No, the Kings got a victory tonight. Always a good thing. Derek loves the laser. Hell yeah. All right, we are going to talk about DeMarcus Cousins later, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We are definitely going to talk about DeMarcus Cousins. But before we do that, we got to talk about the guys that actually were on the court tonight for the Sacramento Kings. And that brings up our next guy, Calvin. We praised this guy in the last game. He had probably his best game of the season. Another productive output for him tonight. Harrison Barnes, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists in 31 minutes, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3-point range. What did you think about HB?
I thought Harrison was great again tonight. I mean, he started off slow shooting. It wasn't as smooth or as efficient as the last game against Cleveland. But again, the stat sheet is still full by the end of the night. The rebounding is great. And I thought the most underrated part of his game tonight was his defense. He was switched on to Anthony Davis quite frequently in this game, multiple times denied him the ball in the post. Down the stretch there, some great individual D, forcing, again, there was a double team from Fox, good help. But again, solid defense, forcing Anthony Davis to pass the ball out of the post, which is a position that he's got a huge advantage on, you would think, over a guy like Harrison Barnes. I thought that he was just a really, really solid guy for them tonight, as well as 6 of 6 at the free throw line. So this is, exactly the type of Harrison Barnes that I said they needed after the other game, or the other night's game against Cleveland. They don't need him to score 20 points every night, but if he can be in the 11 to 15 range, along with the 7 to 8 rebounds, play solid defense, that's going to be a huge, huge plus for this team.
I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Do you like Harrison Barnes? Does he belong on this squad? Do you think he should be traded? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat if you think HB will be here in Sacramento past the trade deadline. But I thought this was a great game for Harrison Barnes, right? He's kind of the utility guy on this team. He's the glue that kind of holds everybody together. You got the locker room presence, the leadership abilities, and then kind of all the stuff on the court is extra. 8 rebounds is what's key for me tonight, right? We talked about the rebound numbers for last game and how there was such a big discrepancy, especially in the offensive rebounds. 8 big rebounds tonight for Harrison Barnes, which I think really helped even out that ratio. And some of those were pretty important rebounds, especially there towards the end of the game. So I like what I'm seeing out of Harrison Barnes, but I'm going to stick with what I've always said. Anybody on this team is tradable, depends on what I'm getting back, right? That's the old saying goes, right, is everything is for sale, or everything has a price. It's just a matter of what it is. So I like what HB is bringing this team so far. Obviously, I'm happy about the win tonight, and I think he will continue, to play well for the Kings, at least much better than he did starting out the season. But I'd revisit this when we get closer to the trade deadline. That is for sure. Let's talk about the Rook, Cal. 26 minutes tonight for Keegan Murray. Only 2 points, 1 of 4 from the field. The dude looked extremely passive. Did pick up 3 personal fouls. What's going on with Keegan?
It's hard to say, man. I mean, somebody pointed out, I forget how many games ago it was, but James Ham reporting that maybe there's something going on in Keegan's personal life. And I'm starting to think that might be affecting him more than maybe he's letting on. I mean, yes, he's in a shooting slump in general, and I don't think that he's really looking to do too much to take him out of that slump. There was one time I saw tonight where he got the ball with an open look from 3, but pump fake to get the defender by him and actually dribbled into the lane for a nice little floater. I think he could do that a lot more, try to get himself some more easy looks at the basket, or maybe even get to the free throw line to help get himself out of this slump. But he looks disengaged. There are times when he's not moving at all. He doesn't look ready sometimes for passes that come his way. So he's definitely struggling right now. To be able to pinpoint exactly what it is, that would require me spending a lot more time around him, I think. But just from what I see on the court, that's what it looks to me. He's just not fully engaged in the game, and I don't think that when he is struggling or starts off the game slow, that he's necessarily taking advantage of some easy opportunities, perhaps, to try to get himself worked into the game.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a confidence issue, plus all the stuff you're talking about, right, where we heard there's some personal stuff that's going on as well. So hopefully he can get that worked out. But I think these minutes, whether he scores or not, plays well or not, these are really, really important for him to just get on the court, play some NBA basketball, play with some of these, best players in the world, and just get more time under his belt. I think he will rebound and play better. I just think it will happen. It's just a matter of time. But hey, when you're a prized rookie, scores 2 points in a game in 26 minutes and you get the victory, that's a win-win right there. So I'm definitely happy about that. Shout out to everybody else that's just joining in right now. I see EJ, Lee, Felipe. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to smash up that like button. I also see Sass in here. Welcome in, Sass. Calvin, real quick, we heard a new nickname for Harrison Barnes during this game. I know your favorite nickname, or I should say Sacktown Pete's favorite nickname for HB is the Black Falcon. What's this new nickname we heard tonight?
Well, Kyle Draper referred to him as Windex Man.
The Windex
He's always on
Man.
the glass.
Because he's a glass cleaner. If you guys like that name, let me know in the chat. Oh man, that's funny, man. Shout out to Alex Matthew. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in.
Bench Matthew is here. What up? My favorite.
No, we were calling
name
him
on this,
Six-Man Matthew,
chat.
right?
Sorry, Six-Man Matthew. That's got a nicer ring to it for sure. Six-Man Matthew.
What about sixth Matthew?
Sixth you?
Sixth you. No bouncer in here. He must be late again. When the bouncer shows up, you guys better give him a hard time for showing up late, because he's got a job to do, man. He can't keep showing up to work late. All right, moving on here. Let's talk a little bit about Kevin Huerter. Kevin, also known as James Ham Jr. Shout out to Ivan and Alfie, man. Welcome in, guys. James Ham Jr. That's hard to say, dude. James Ham Jr. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 32 minutes, 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 9 from three-point range. We saw a couple really good defensive plays for him where he goes vertical, stops Russell Westbrook under the basket. I love to see that. Obviously shot the three ball well again tonight, but only 16 points for him. I really like what I'm seeing out of Kevin Huerter. He's got the size, he's got the shooting ability, and he's also got the confidence. I think this dude is one of the most underrated pickups this offseason in the NBA, right? The Kings gave up a protected first-round pick and were able to pick him up, but Kevin Huerter's been absolutely huge for the Kings. What are your thoughts on Kevin Huerter, what he did tonight, and what his overall impact and kind of responsibilities are on this team?
I think Kevin Huerter was good tonight. I think he's been great for the Kings. Yeah, I echo exactly what you've been saying about being one of the best pickups, for any team. He was the first guy to really get his outside shot going in this game, which helped the Kings claw their way back into it. Again, the two-man game with him and Sabonis, especially when Fox is on the bench, I think that's really an underrated part of what this team does. The two have great chemistry together. They work really, really well in the two-man game. Kevin Huerter is not the best on-ball defender. He does get beat. But the one thing I will say about him is he gives good effort to recover, and he challenges and contests shots really well, especially around the rim with his length. Saw him get 2 blocks tonight. So even when he does get beat, he still makes an effort to challenge and contest the shot, and that's something that you have to love.
Yeah, definitely. I just, I got to show this, Calvin. I think I got to show this, man. You see this? You see these standings right here? What's that?
They're creeping.
Purple-looking team over here with this weird number next to it. It looks
creeping.
like a 1 and a 0. Is that a 10? Are the Kings currently in a position to make the playoffs, Calvin? Wow.
Currently
Wow.
they are.
5 and 6, dude. The Spurs are next. We're going to jump them. Then we're coming after New Orleans. I like it, man. I like it, Calvin. We're looking really, really good here. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. All right, let's talk about the man of the night, De'Aaron Fox. Dude, Calvin, is this guy going to make the All-Star team this year? Because he is playing incredibly well. And I feel like all these knocks against him in the past has been, oh, he's getting better, but he's on a bad team. This team is getting better. He's getting better. I think he is going to make the All-Star team this year. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me know if you think De'Aaron Fox will be an All-Star this season or not. Let me know in the chat. Calvin, what do you think?
Oh, I think he should I think it'll be a crime if he doesn't make the All-Star team this year. I mean, barring, of course, an unforeseen injury. I don't want to jinx anything, or a sudden dramatic drop-off in production, which I don't see happening on this team. De'Aaron Fox looks the best that I've ever seen him play. I don't see any other way around that. The outside shot is falling. He looks incredibly confident. The game, has definitely slowed down for him. It's just even the defense is much, much better this year. The on-ball defense looks great. The help defense tonight was really good. He just seems locked in. It's only when he has those brief lapses in judgment. The couple behind-the-back passes tonight were not crisp, clean, and the turnovers. I think that's really the only thing you can pinpoint to where De'Aaron Fox doesn't play his best every night, as he still has these lapses where he can turn the ball over sometimes. But the free throw shooting has been corrected for the most part. The outside shooting is much, much better than it's ever been. He's still the same incredibly difficult guy to stop, but he's making smart decisions, big time buckets late in the fourth quarter tonight. He seems to want that role. I think this is the best Fox has ever been.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you're looking here at 32, 7, and 12. And you and I were raving during the game about his defense, right? He had that steal late where he just picks their pocket. And you and I got into kind of a little discussion about this guy's got the tools to be one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He's extremely fast, right? That we've heard about that for years. But just like his positioning's getting better. I think having a coach like Mike Brown is really helping him a lot. And also having some guys behind that he can really trust, I think is huge for him. But great game for De'Aaron Fox. And you mentioned 0 points here in the first quarter. So he puts up 32 points in 3 quarters of action. And closes out the game, hitting a few of those little turnarounds and a floater there late in this game. Absolutely huge game from De'Aaron Fox, both offensively and defensively. Calvin, it looks like the bouncer showed up tonight.
Welcome. Glad
Welcome
to have
in,
you,
bouncer.
Man.
A little late, but you're here, right? Better late than never, I guess. But welcome back in, bouncer. We missed you, buddy. We had to start the show without you. Ivan says, agree, the effort from the team is light years better than all 15 previous seasons. I couldn't agree more. That was something that really stuck out to me. And, early on we started out, 0-4. But I remember saying on this channel, like, this team is different. Like, it's early. It sucks to be losing all these games, but we're in every single one of these games. Even that early game against Golden State where we're getting blown out, the Kings come back late and they actually make that, a one possession game there in the fourth quarter late in the game. So, this Kings team tries incredibly hard. They play incredibly hard, and it almost seems like they're never out of it. Like tonight, right? They were down 13, I think, at one point in this game. They storm back. Like, this team has a never say never attitude, and honestly, that right there, they've improved in so many different areas, but that is going to take you farther than anything else.
Absolutely. Mike Brown has said over and over again that he's trying to get this team to understand how important and how important it is to value every single possession in a game. You really cannot take any possession off, whether you're up 20, down 20. And a lot of times that he calls quick timeouts, it's for that reason. He feels that the team's not engaged enough and locked in every single possession. That comes from being around winning teams, championship teams. And that's something that the Kings have not had in the building for a long time. So I think the impact that Mike Brown has had on this team is really underrated. And you can see it's definitely having an effect on not just De'Aaron Fox, but the team in general. They're all starting to buy in. You win a couple of games, you start to figure things out. That really changes your attitude and your demeanor. You hear it from other teams around the league, too. They come to Sacramento and they see the look in these guys' eyes. They look hungry. They look ready. The wheels are turning, I think.
The Kings won, yeah. Oh, yeah, the Kings won, yeah. The Sacramento Kings, oh, yeah, the Kings won, yeah. Fox is so fast. Sabonis is so strong, yeah. Coach Mike is so smart, yeah. They are the playoff bound, yeah.
Hey, the Island Boys could be right here, Calvin. They could be right. The Kings could be playoff bound. Real quick, I'll find the video so I can pull it up here. But tell us a little bit about this video we received this morning in a group chat.
I'm not sure what video you're referring to.
Oh, how many videos did you see today? I'm talking about the Sacramento Kings' favorite ex-referee.
Oh, yes. Well, I think everybody's probably seen the Tim Donaghy video at this point. I thought it was pretty funny. But I guess I could see how it would, hit a little too close to home for some older Kings fans. But I thought it was pretty hysterical, especially the part about Anthony Davis is probably going to get hurt reading this or listening to this, and then it was literally like 10 minutes later they announced he was questionable with an illness.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the video, Tim Donaghy came out and put out a video saying that he likes the Sacramento Kings. It's funny, he must have watched the Island Boys video because he's like, Fox is so fast. He said Sabonis is so strong. Yeah. And he said that this is going to be a good team and they're going to make the playoffs, this team. He said that they are going to make the playoffs this year and end the streak. So, not one of my favorite people. But hey, anybody that's rooting for the Kings right now, I'm like, okay, you can root for the Kings. So let's jump back here into tonight's game, Calvin. No surprise here. We saw KZ not play, Alex Len not play, Dellavedova not play, Rashawn Holmes, another DNP for him, unfortunately, and we'll definitely talk about that in a little bit. But we saw Trey Lyles play 15 minutes, 0 points off the bench. Metu, 10 points in 16 minutes. Davion Mitchell, 6 points in 20 minutes. Terrence Davis, I got to give a shout out to him. Shot well in this game, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range, and played some incredible defense. And then Malik Monk, my guy, 8 points for him. But Calvin, I got to ask you, what stood out most to you as far as bench players tonight for the Kings?
Really, that they got outplayed so badly by the Lakers bench. I mean, Russell Westbrook, all jokes aside, and people have made a lot about him, ever since they made the move to switch him to the bench, he's been playing close, or more like his old self, including shooting from three. He's up to like 38% from three, I think, coming off the bench. So he really has stepped up his play. But outside of him, I thought the Kings had a huge advantage in the bench, especially when you look at the game against Cleveland just a couple nights ago. They outscored their bench by like 30 or something. So I was disappointed that the Kings bench couldn't kind of have the same type of impact offensively on the game today. But I give Terrence Davis and Davion a lot of credit. Their defense was really, really good again, and I think it helped keep the game close, until we got late in the game and Fox and Sabonis were able to do the heavy lifting from there.
All right, I'm going to show this video for you guys that haven't seen it yet. Here we go.
NBA referee Tim Donaghy here. I just want to say the Kings are my pick tonight, and everyone knows I know how to pick them. It's time to get on the Kings bandwagon, because that playoff drought is finally ending this year. Fox is just too fast. Sabonis is way too strong. Murray is a lock for Rookie of the Year. Huerter and Monk are the best offensive additions in the league, and you can bet they're both going to light it up from three. Hell, Anthony Davis will probably get injured just hearing this. Yeah, the league stole their championship in 2002, but they won't do it tonight. That's right, Sacramento Kings are a lock. Jump on it.
Man, that's pretty wild, Calvin. I guess people will say anything these days, right? You put them on Cameo, you give them $100, they'll say absolutely anything. But I mean, watching that video again there brings up a lot of different feelings for me. Some good, some not so good. But he was right tonight. The Kings win. This is crazy, dude. What do you think? What do you think? Give me your final thoughts on this one. We'll move on.
I mean, I think I'm in the minority of Kings fans. I've put the whole Tim Donaghy thing behind me, so that this doesn't really do much for me. I personally think that he was being either paid or had a script to read off of. I'm not sure that that's really how he feels. Maybe he does, but I would be, I don't know, surprised, I guess. It doesn't really mean much either way to me.
Well, Calvin, I'm not as nice as you, man. I hold grudges against people that take away my championships. So I hate Tim Donaghy. And if you agree with me, hit that like button, because I want to know how many of you guys still hate him. He's whack, man. He's busted. I do not like this guy. Shout out to Tito here. Just followed us on Twitter. We are on Twitter. So if you guys want to pay attention to us, Calvin tweets during the games, before games.
Oh, Barry, are you paying them?
at Royal _
Charlie thinks
Rebounds.
you're the one paying him.
I'm not paying him shit, Charlie. Get that out of your mouth, dude. I'm not paying him shit. F that guy. F that guy.
I think we need to make a T-shirt. It's got Tim Donaghy's face on it, and it says, "I'm not paying him shit."
F that guy.
F that guy.
That'll say it on the back. On the front, yeah, it'll have his face. I'm not paying this guy shit. And then on the back, F that guy. And then it could say cameo maybe on the sleeve or somewhere.
I think we're on to something.
Check out the Royal Rebound store, guys. Coming soon. Definitely coming soon. And yeah, follow us on Twitter, Royal _ Rebounds, to check us out. Check us out. All right, so I want to get back to this game. Dude, I get so sidetracked sometimes, especially after a win, because I'm just so happy. I might as well say it again here since we got a bunch of new people here watching the show. Kings win tonight. 120-114 over the busted-ass LA Lakers. LeBron James has got no legs. Anthony Davis is feeling sick, but he played anyways. Kings win. De'Aaron Fox was the best player on the court tonight. And it feels good to say that because it doesn't happen that often, or at least it didn't used to, but it is now. Barry needs to slap Tim Donaghy. Oh, I would slap the shit out of him, Ivan. I would slap the shit out of him. And that's not a threat if any lawyers are watching. So back to the game here. Let's talk about bench players. For me, the most impactful bench player tonight for the Sacramento Kings was Terrence Davis. 12 points for him, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from three-point range, but it was really the defense. I thought he played incredible defense in this game. He seemed to be all over the court, was jumping in some of these passing lanes, and I just thought he overall did a great job. I really missed this guy, and I think the Kings did last year too after the wrist injury down the stretch and everything, but I'm definitely happy to have Terrence Davis back. And dude, he's repping the hometown, man. Maybe I should have got a Davis jersey. But anyways, if you guys have not ordered the new City Edition jerseys, make sure you go order one of those soon because they're definitely going to sell out, especially if you wear a size large like I do. They seem to sell out really fast. Calvin, what were your thoughts on Terrence Davis tonight? And before you answer, come on, Kings fans, smash up that like button. We got to get to at least 50 likes here. We are about 210 likes short of Calvin remaking the Island Boys video.
Thank you for that. Thanks for the close-up, too, while you said that. I appreciate that. But I agree with you. Terrence Davis was huge for them. The defense especially was great. He helped get them out into some transition looks, get some easy buckets, which kind of opened the floodgates, I think, a little bit for the offense in the second half. And you have to give credit to a guy. It's hard to be a fringe rotation player, which is kind of what Terrence Davis is on this team now. Because he's a guard, they have a ton of guards, and they have some good ones that come off the bench as well. So there are some games where he plays 20 minutes. There are some games where he plays 8 minutes. And it's hard to mentally be ready to come in and play with the same intensity every night when you're not sure how much you're going to be on the floor. So I give a lot of credit to a guy who's able to do that and still come in and make impactful plays in a game that was ugly, and they needed somebody else to kind of come in and give them a spark to help carry them through the rest of the way to victory.
Dude, De'Aaron Fox is even tweeting right now, light the beam. Light the beam. I like it. Is it a beam or a laser? Or a laser beam? I don't know, but I like it.
Laser beam, I think. It's both.
I like it. Lee says that shit is clean. He likes the gray jerseys. Lee, did you pick one up already? Unfortunately, Calvin and I are here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so we're not able to pick one up right away, but I did order one on Fanatics, so it'll be here in 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 weeks. Or how long it takes to get stuff from Fanatics. That shit's whack, man. They need some Amazon Prime on Fanatics, that's for sure. And Bryce, yeah, you should crack your 5th beer. I'm about to crack my own as well.
Absolutely.
Any other bench guys you really wanted to shout out tonight, Calvin? I mean, Trey Lyles, unfortunately, didn't have a very good game offensively. Yeah. I've been raving about him over the past couple games. Metu, I thought he did really well tonight. He kind of played within his game. We did see a couple 3-point attempts from him. They were kind of like, I don't really like that. But, the dude was cutting to the basket. I love a lot of the things he was doing. And then obviously the defense from Davion Mitchell's always there, right? And then my guy Malik Monk, 3 of 7 from the field, couple assists for him tonight. Anybody else that really stood out to you on the bench?
Well, for me, it's Davion. I'm a sucker for defense, right? Like it doesn't matter if your shot's not falling. If you're playing really, really good, tough on-ball defense, you're always gonna be okay in my book. And I give Davion a lot of credit because, he struggled offensively early on this season, but there is one way you can always carve out a role for yourself on a team and make sure that you're going to see the floor, and that's if you're a really, really good defender. And that's something that this team desperately needs. So I give him all the credit in the world for fighting through the offensive struggles, trying to make an impact on the game, and he definitely had one tonight with his on-ball defense.
Yeah, we do have an Instagram page as well. You can follow us on Instagram if you want. We have not been posting as much on Instagram. It's hard, man. There's so many different platforms now. It's like, okay, I got this much time. I got to post on YouTube. I got to post on Instagram. I got to post on Twitter. I got to do all this stuff. But yeah, you guys can definitely follow us on Instagram at Royal Rebounds. And check out our website, royalrebounds.com, if you guys want to pick up any merchandise. We got a couple cool new shirts on there, especially the End the Streak shirt. Calvin, we made an End the Streak shirt this year. And guess what? The Kings are about to end the streak. So make sure you pick up one of those at royalrebounds.com. It's pretty sweet. It's got custom tags on the side, says Royal Rebounds. They're super sweet. So definitely check that out.
Shout out to my boy Neil. Point the beam at Donaghy. I love it.
That's awesome. Also, I got to let you guys know, I'm famous. You guys probably already knew that, but Calvin, we watched my movie premiere that came out late last night. It officially hit theaters today. It's John Travolta, Bruce Willis. It's called Paradise City. Make sure you guys check out that movie. It wasn't that great, but I'm in it, so check it out, dude.
Yeah. If you guys can find Barry, we'll do something for you. I'll buy you a City Edition jersey. You got to take a screenshot of the part of the movie where Barry is, and you got to point him out somehow, like draw a little circle or something around it. Make sure you get the HD version because you might miss him. But if you guys do that, I'll buy you a King City Edition jersey of your choice.
Can I give him a hint, Calvin?
No hints.
Just a small hint.
That's fine. You can give him a small hint.
I was King's Jesus when I was in the movie, so that should be enough of a hint for you. If you've been watching the channel long enough, you'll know.
And you can send the screenshot to Twitter or Instagram if you guys follow us. Either one of those will work. Look for the gay club scene.
It's called Paradise City.
It's good.
And you can rent it on Amazon Prime. Calvin, I feel like Amazon's maybe got to kick you some stuff for getting people to watch the movie. Definitely interesting. But hey, it feels good to be a part of history. It's Bruce Willis's last movie of his career before he retires, so that feels pretty cool. But yeah, definitely check that out. Okay, back here to the game. What were we talking about, Calvin? I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place tonight. It feels so good to win, dude. I'm not used to it, so I just bounce all over the place.
Well, I think we were talking about the bench most recently, but
oh yes. Any concerns with Davion? Because he's been pretty up and down this year. I think he's always there defensively. We keep talking about the offensive game needs to catch up, right? And it will catch up. You look at guys like Marcus Smart, Patrick Beverley, guys that are kind of defensive first guys that have learned to shoot and have got much better offensively as they've gotten older. Any concerns here for Davion? And I'm going to let you take the floor. I'm going to go grab a beer.
Yes, you do have concerns for Davion, right? Concerns being maybe he's not a true point guard. Is that what they really need him to be on this team? Can he? I saw a lot of people in the chat asking if he can be the leader of the reserve unit. I think that's probably more of a Malik Monk role personally, but So yes, there are definitely concerns with Davion, but overall, I think you got to feel pretty happy. I think that Coach Brown needs to try to figure out a way to just simplify the game offensively for him. Getting in those positions where he's thinking too much about making a play for others. This guy is a offensive creator himself, and I think if they just keep the game plan simple for him, attack the basket, take open shots when you have them, don't try to do too much. With what he's able to give you defensively, he's shooting the ball better from out. It's not great, but he's still shooting the ball better from outside this year, up to 35-ish%. So again, the shooting is a concern, but I think he's so good at getting to the basket. If they are able to keep the game plan simple for him and he can be that lockdown defender, there's going to be a good role for him on this team for a long time. And it's not like the Kings need Davion to become an all-star, or they need him to become a 20-point-per-game scorer in order to be good, or in order for him to have a good impact on this team. They just need to find the right sitch for him. And with the addition of Malik Monk and guys, playing well on the bench, you're not going to see the scoring outbursts all the time from him. But they need a lockdown defender, that's for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's weird, right? We talked about when Davion gets there, his effort's going to be contagious, right? Last year we were looking for this team to become a much, much better defensive team due to Davion. But I think it does help. It just takes a little bit longer. Having a guy like Coach Brown helps a lot. You got Doug Christie on the bench. All this adding together is just helping this Kings team become a much, much better defensive team. And I think that it pretty much starts with Davion Mitchell in my mind. Maybe he's not a starter. Maybe he doesn't get a ton of minutes, but this dude is in practice every single day. He's working against guys like De'Aaron Fox, and he's pushing every single other player on this team to be a much better player. So I absolutely love what we get out of Davion Mitchell, and I really hope that the Kings don't end up trading him. I really think that he's having a great impact on this team, and it can only get better to me. Calvin, we're 5 likes away from guaranteeing a win on Sunday. So a couple more Kings fans, just smash up that like button. It's that little thing that looks like a thumb if you haven't used it before. That's what we get paid in. Smash that thing up. 5 more and we can guarantee a victory on Sunday. Calvin, anything else you want to talk about with this game, or are we moving on here?
Beat LA. I think you ended at that.
We did beat LA. That's what we did. We beat LA. That's the most important thing. And LeBron was not looking pretty happy on the bench watching his team get worked. So always happy about that. All right, let's take a look here at the schedule. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man, starting off with those big L's here. 4 of them to start off the season. The Kings start off 0-4. Interestingly enough, Fox leads the team in scoring in all 4 of those games. Then we get on a little run here, win 2 in a row. Kevin Huerter was going off. Then unfortunately the refs screw us in Miami. They screw us in Golden State. Dude, Calvin, I was wrong, man. Earlier in the show, I said that, we would have been on a 6-game win streak. If the refs would have been on our side, if somebody would have paid Tim Donaghy on Cameo a couple weeks ago, we would have been on a 7-game winning streak right now. That would be absolutely incredible. Think about, we'd be all over ESPN. They'd be like, the Kings started out 0-4. Now they're 7-4. They're the next Boston Celtics. They're going to go to the NBA Finals this year, blah, 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 all this stuff. Dude, this looks great, man. I'm really happy with where we're at right now. I really, really am. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that's this next game on Sunday against the Golden State Warriors. Tonight's game, unfortunately, was on the road. However, it was in California, so they're going to be bouncing back probably to Sacramento tonight. They're going to have a day off tomorrow, probably get some time to practice. And then Sunday's game is a little bit later. I mean, it's 4 p.m. It's not one of those early games that we have complained about that the Kings have been so bad about. But Sunday's game is versus the Golden State Warriors at Golden One in Sacramento. Calvin, give me your thoughts on this game.
This is going to be a tough one. I mean, it's breaking news, right? Like the Warriors, it's always a tough matchup for this team for the fact that, the Kings can play really well against them. You even saw them have a lead, double-digit lead the last time they played, and then Curry goes supernova. I agree with everybody in the chat here. I don't know if it's really fair to Davion to say that he should be on him 100% of the night, because that is a tough assignment for anybody. I feel like you're going to run out of energy pretty quickly if you try to play him on Curry the entire game. But Davion, I do think, is the best option here. It also helps save Fox's energy for the offensive end of the floor so he doesn't have to chase Steph Curry the entire game. I do want to see that matchup for sure. And I think Davion wants that matchup, right? Like if you're the best defender on your team, I was the best defender on my team. I always wanted to guard the other team's best player. That got me fired up. That got me ready to play. So Davion's got to be in the same mindset, I think.
Definitely. I mean, we made it past 50 likes, Calvin, so I'm guaranteeing a victory here on Sunday against the Golden State Warriors. We've played, 2 games against them so far this year. 2 pretty close games. Unfortunately, the first game was almost a blowout. The Kings come back late in that game, and then we lose off a BS non-foul call against Klay Thompson in the last game. But I think the Kings have a great shot here. I think the Golden State Warriors are a much different team. I actually thought they were going to be better this year than they were last year. We're talking about, they're getting back, they're getting their stride. They have all these young, talented players. They're going to gel. They're going to make this thing work, and they're probably going to be the best team in the NBA. They're not, Calvin. They're not that team. They could be. They have the potential to be, but they've really been struggling. And I want to rewind a little bit back to that altercation at practice between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. And I'm not going to lie. We got a lot of friends that are Warriors fans, bandwagon Warriors fans. They don't know anything about basketball. Dude, I got into an argument with this lady. She said Draymond Green was better than LeBron James. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, in that group text, I sent it out to all you guys, and I said, if the Warriors mess up this Draymond Green situation, this is the start of the end for them. I think that they're going to mess up their chemistry. They're going to mess up the trust that these young players have, and they're going to slowly just kind of get worse and worse. Now, I don't know if that's exactly happened here, but this Warriors team seems to have a different attitude. We saw Klay Thompson get ejected earlier in this season, something he's never done before. He's yelling at somebody saying, I got 4 rings, all this. He's been playing like trash. This team just seems much different. We've seen Steph Curry act like a whole different guy. I think getting that 4th ring for them was not good for them mentally. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Golden State Warriors?
I do think that we're seeing the, if you want to call it the beginning of the end, or it's the time when, Curry, his play really hasn't diminished at all in my minds. When you're the greatest shooter of all time and you have a lightning quick release, you're still going to be really effective nonstop. But yes, the core group of players that have been there for a long time, whether it's injuries or age, they're losing a step, all of this stuff, their play is starting to diminish a little bit. And they're having to rely more on these young guys like Jordan Poole and Kuminga and Wiseman. And Poole has been really good for them, but they haven't always gotten the same type of consistency out of the rest of them. So that combined with the fact that the Western Conference is really tough this year, I think that's why you're seeing, a lot of teams start to take advantage of the Warriors, who have played this small ball lineup and have a great defensive rotation for years. Now maybe they're not quite rotating as well or as quickly. They're giving up some easier buckets. And the rest of the league, is not as afraid of these guys maybe as they used to be. That being said, would you really be that surprised if the Warriors went on a 10-game win streak all of a sudden? Like, I wouldn't. So
No,
they're still there, and they're still a problem. But yes, I think we are starting to maybe get to some sort of a middle ground here.
Yeah. I mean, I got to agree with Callum here. Curry is ass. That's a top comment. I wish I could pin that at the top. The only goat I see in Curry is in Indian food, Calvin. That was a great meme I saw a couple days ago. Yeah. Definitely something that stood out for sure. This looks like
one thing I'll say about this game coming up. I think the Kings match up with the Warriors pretty well because their best lineups, they like to play small ball lineups, right? It allows them to run the free reign offense, put up a bunch of threes, which they've been much better, from a total team standpoint of hitting this year. So this is a fairly good matchup for them. What I think it comes down to, Curry is Curry, right? And stopping him is really, really difficult. But if the matchup that I'm watching is Andrew Wiggins, I think Harrison Barnes probably draws that assignment in this game. He's the guy that if you can limit, I think that really gives you a good chance to beat the Warriors, even if Curry ends up going off, late in the game. Andrew Wiggins is really an important part of this team. So that's the guy I think you have to try to focus on if you're the Kings.
Shout out to Raider Nation here. Raider Nation thinks the 2-10 LA Lakers are a better basketball team. Good luck, man. Good luck. Yeah. I think I would say my keys to this game. Number 1, Sabonis needs to stay out of foul trouble. Number 2, you need to be physical with Curry. And 3, I think you got to get the easy buckets, whether it's making your free throws or making those layups. But whatever points you can get against the Warriors, you just got to get them. You can't give up those easy points. So those would be my 3 keys to the game. What about you, Cal?
I would have to agree with you. I think they've got to shoot well from the outside to kind of keep pace, to keep pace with a team that can get ultra hot at any moment. They can't have, the start that they had to this game. Sabonis out of foul trouble, rebounding, and turnovers. The Kings are a much, much different team when they take care of the ball. They're really, really difficult to stop. So if they can come focused, not turn the ball over, let Golden State get out and run, that's going to go a long ways. Turnovers, foul trouble, rebounding, I think would be my keys.
I do not think that Max Christie is related to Doug Christie. I don't think Doug Christie would allow any of his children to play on the Lakers. But Tyrese Halliburton's another question. Those guys look awfully close. Awfully close here. So, Calvin, are you predicting a win here?
I really want to. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I'll predict a win.
Hell
Kings
yeah.
are gonna win.
Hell yeah. We got Calvin on the wagon. I'm driving. Don't fall off the wagon, Calvin, because we're getting a victory on Sunday. And then I just got to throw it out there. Next up, after we destroy the Golden State Warriors, guess who's coming to town? We got the Circus, dude. Circus Olay is coming in.
The Circus is in town.
Maybe Kyrie Irving will be back for this game. We'll see if Durant can play, if Ben Simmons feels like shooting in this game. But, Calvin, this is our first nationally televised game of the season. It's Tuesday. The Kings take on the Brooklyn Nets in Sacramento. TNT, dude. We're on TNT. That's pretty cool, man. Not a lot of nationally televised games.
They're getting some recognition.
Definitely excited about that. I think, Calvin, if I remember right, the last nationally televised game on TNT for the Sacramento Kings was the day that the NBA shut down. You remember that? I came into Chemo's.
March 11th, 2020.
I think. Who were they
playing? Were they on national TV that day?
Yeah, because I came into Chemo's because you guys had it on at the bar. It was the second game, and it was, I don't remember who the Kings were facing. But anyways, yeah, that was the last time I think they were supposed to be on TNT, and it got canceled. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. Any thoughts on Kyrie? You think Kyrie will be able to be available for this game? Has he completed those steps, and how many games has he missed at this point? Any idea? Because I haven't been keeping track.
I haven't kept track of exactly how many games he's missed. I want to guess that it's like 3 or 4, somewhere in that range. But
New Orleans. Yep.
Oh, that's New Orleans. There you go. That's the winner right there. That's a good trivia question.
Dude, Ivan's my guy, dude.
Right? But no, as far as goes with Kyrie. The only thing that I've heard is that he's had all these meetings and people don't believe he's anti-Semitic. I have no idea how close he is to completing the checklist that the Nets gave him in order to return. But good news is he doesn't hate Jews, right? I mean, I guess, you know.
Oh man, I didn't think you were gonna take it there. You took it there. Yeah, I guess not. Ninja Style here says, I guess Deuce and Mo got them a nationally televised game. Wow. I didn't know Deuce and Mo had that kind of pull. Maybe they can get us a couple more. That'd be interesting. Brian, are you fucking with me here? You see what Brian said?
Oh, I definitely didn't see a Woj bomb.
Oh, I'm checking this out right now, dude. You serious? This can't be true. You got me? You got me? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Woj says Kyrie is released. Oh, we'll see. I mean, it's possible. That's kind of one of those things where it's like, it could happen. It could happen. Also, want to let you guys know, if you're basketball fans, just beyond Kings fans, if you like college basketball, we have the Maui Invitational tournament is coming up in just a couple weeks. It's on the beautiful island of Maui where Calvin and I reside. And actually, it's right here. It's just a little bit away. We're like, what, 2 blocks away from the Civic Center where they're hosting the tournament. I will be working, probably laying some cables, carrying a bunch of heavy shit. So maybe you'll see me on TV. I don't know if Calvin will buy you a jersey if you notice me, but I'll definitely be there. So if any of you guys plan to go to the Maui Invitational, definitely hit us up. It would be a lot of fun. Also, I think we got to give an update, Calvin, on the fire. Because we almost lost our last stream on Wednesday. The mountain, what they say in the chat? Effing volcanoes. The mountain was on fire, dude. And is it out? I mean, I don't see it anymore. Is it out officially, Calvin? I saw like 2,000 acres or something were burned.
It's over 2,000 acres. I don't think that it's out yet. I think they have it more than 50% contained now, which is great, but it's a big one. It's not good.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, let's talk about DeMarcus Cousins, man. I think it's time to talk about him. He's been upset. Nobody has been signing him. I reached out to him last week and I said, Cousins, do you have a statement about why all the teams are passing on you and no one's making you an offer? And this is what he said.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here because it's getting ridiculous.
So he thinks it's ridiculous that he hasn't been signed. Of course,
back when Barry had long hair.
But yeah, Calvin, I think I might have turned a new leaf, man. I think I'm on the bring Boogie Back train. Bring Boogie Back. Dude, we should put that on a t-shirt. That is very, very catchy. But I'm feeling Boogie, man. I think we need a boogeyman on this team. We need somebody that's going to be hiding under people's beds, spooking them. And we need an enforcer, man. Bring the boogeyman back to Sacramento, Calvin. I'm on the bandwagon.
I'm still not there, Barry. I'm sorry, and I apologize to everybody else who wants Boogie. I just don't like the fit, and I'll never be on board with. You and I had this conversation tonight. Bringing a guy into your team who you use just as an enforcer. That's not a good thing. If anything, it could disrupt team chemistry. I don't like it. I don't like it.
What do you got to lose here, Calvin?
You're right. You don't have to lose much, but I still don't think it's a good fit. I really don't.
I want my boogie back, boogie back, boogie back, boogie back.
That is a good one. Gotta love that. But no,
JN says we lose team chemistry, and I get that take. I was kind of on that earlier, but I'm also thinking like straight up, dude. You give this guy a short leash. He messes up, he's out of here. Like, could that really screw it up? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like this dude can bring something to the table. I think he does love Sacramento. Obviously hated some people in the organization. I think those guys are gone. And it was an unfortunate situation where I feel like Boogie basically had the keys to the franchise and was holding us ransom. I do not think it would be that case this time. I think you could bring him in. You could say, this is what your role is going to be on the team. You're going to bring some veteran leadership. You've been on a lot of really good teams since you left here. You won a championship on the LA Lakers in the bubble, right? Even though he didn't play on that team because he was injured. But I really like the potential of DeMarcus Cousins. I think that he could be the first big man off the bench and really help this team, especially because I've seen Domantas Sabonis take some really, really bad fouls and get in foul trouble. Boogie could do what Sabonis can do, obviously not as well, and there's probably some things that Boogie can do better than Sabonis can do. Dude, I'm just saying, why not, dude? Take a chance, man. Let's take a chance.
I think if you're looking to DeMarcus Cousins for veteran leadership, you're in trouble. That's all I'll say.
Dude, people were looking at Zach Randolph for veteran leadership. Look at all the shit that happened to him early on in his career. Like, people can rebuild themselves. Calvin, you don't believe in second chances?
He's been given like 4 second chances.
Not by Sacramento.
That's true, not by Sacramento. But look, I just don't, for a guy that you're always worried, he's like a Kyrie Irving. You're always worried about, is he going to lose it? How much mentally is he invested? And then you add the fact that he is such a shadow of what he used to be as a player. Compound that with the injury history and, how many games is he really going to be able to play? What kind of shape is he in right now? I mean, I hope that he's in really good shape. I know you just said there was some tweet or quote, he's in the best shape of his life, but that's bullshit because you can't be in the best shape of your life now after all the injuries and being, this much older and not playing in the league for a little while. Like that makes absolutely no sense.
Are you a doctor, Calvin?
I think it's
Are you a doctor? You sound like a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express once. So I think I
knew
can
you were
make
gonna
that
say that shit.
clarification. I just think that it's a big gamble for Sacramento. And it just, to me, it feels like you make that move more to try to, it's almost like it's more for the fan base than it is for the team. I don't like that move. I just don't.
Someone in the chat here says, shout out Connected Sacramento. That 8th was fire. I have no idea what that means, but congratulations to you. All right, so I want to hear from you guys all because you guys are saying a bunch of stuff here, but I need it to be a little bit more clear because I'm an idiot sometimes. Can you guys spam the chat? I want just a straight up yes or no. Should we sign DeMarcus Cousins? Yes or no? I want to spam. I want to see a list down here. I want to know exactly what side you're on, and no take in the middle. No take in the middle on that. So yes, no. Neil's signing DeMarcus. Bryce says no. Matthew says sure, why not? Matthew, dude, come on, man. Are you not good at these?
Why not?
Yeah, yes or no. You guys are a bunch of shitheads.
Maybe.
I'm seeing a lot of no's here, Calvin. A lot of people.
What was the question?
Dude, PK is doing exactly. Dude, Calvin, isn't this what I brought up? Boogie can fight Draymond. That's what we need, man. We need a guy that's an enforcer.
Not what they need. They need guys that are better at basketball. You don't need. This isn't hockey. You don't sign a guy so that he goes to fight another player on the team.
It worked for the Warriors. Bryce says Dwight Howard instead. I don't know if Dwight Howard can get out of his contract. Where did he sign in Taiwan?
Taiwan, yes.
Taiwan. Interesting. I like Dwight Howard. I think he would be a potential, but I don't know. Maybe for me it's a storybook ending, right? Of DeMarcus Cousins comes back, signs with the Kings, they make the playoffs, they end the streak. I don't know. I guess I would like it to happen. It seems like a storybook ending and good things. I honestly feel like you can't lose here. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a low cost, high reward, or low risk, high reward play. You don't have to give up anything. You could even take like Chima Maneki or something. You
but
could assign him to the G
League. How high is the
League.
reward, Barry? How high? What do you really? What would be the dream? The best case scenario that you're going to get out of DeMarcus Cousins production wise?
Jan says low cost, high risk.
How high is the reward?
The reward.
The highest point of the reward to me is that the Kings make the playoffs, basically just carrying DeMarcus Cousins along on the bench, and he gets to be a part of that team. Like, this guy is not that great of a shooter. He's not blowing by anybody anymore to the lane to get dunks. He's a good passer. They could definitely use him in that regard. But defensively, he's just the same as anybody they've got now, if not worse. So I'm just not on board.
Dude, I'm looking up the stats here. Okay, you're making me pull up the stats, Calvin. Okay, so let's try and compromise here. Let's try and come to a reasonable conclusion. If Boogie's on the Kings, is he first big off the bench? Yes or no? You guys can play along in the chat if you guys want.
Not always. It depends on the matchup.
First big off the bench is what I'm saying.
It depends on the matchup. If they're playing the Warriors, DeMarcus Cousins is probably not going to get in that game.
Okay.
Unless Sabonis gets in early foul trouble.
You're making this more difficult. Okay, let's say he does play. How many minutes? How many minutes is this guy getting? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? What do you think?
Maybe. I don't know. And is that worth that? Is it worth that?
So he averaged 14 minutes a game last year for Denver. And he played 31 games. Averaged 14 minutes a game. 9 points.
Yeah, and they didn't want him back. We all thought it was a great fit to be the backup for Sabonis. Again, a big that he has a lot of similar characteristics, similar qualities to, right? Their games, have a lot of similar traits. Good passer, good interior scorer, big body, all that stuff. And Denver didn't want him back either. So I don't know. I just I'm not there. I'm not there yet.
It's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, Calvin, it's getting ridiculous. Dude, I didn't realize. I mean, I know he played on a lot of teams, but I'm looking here. It's like Sacramento. That's the song. Sacramento. Then it's like Pelicans, Warriors, Rockets. I almost said Chargers, Clippers, Bucks. Then Nuggets.
Chargers.
Dude, this is the new NBA journeyman, dude. Give him a chance, bro. All I'm saying, give Cousins a chance. I think.
Nope.
Yeah, Alex Len sucks. I mean,
His
according
team's
to Bryce,
already too good for that. They're past that. They're beyond it. He had his chance. He fucked it up multiple times. Sorry.
Okay, if the Kings were able to trade Richaun Holmes, would that make you more likely to sign Cousins?
No, not really, because Richaun Holmes isn't playing right now. So it's not like they need somebody to replace Richaun Holmes. He's not giving them anything.
But Quan, name who's available. You want to name who's available, or you want me to name who is available?
That's a tough question to answer. You don't necessarily know somebody's available, but unless they're not signed to a team, right? But I don't want many of those guys.
I love it. I'm pissing Jayon off. I guess we can open it in here to questions, because everyone's just asking a bunch of questions here in the chat. So, hey, if you guys got questions, spam the chat with questions. We've been going for an hour and 13 minutes, but it's still early here, guys. It's only 9 o'clock. Beautiful to live in Hawaii. But Calvin, let's go ahead and dive into some of these questions, since obviously we can't come to a conclusion with this DeMarcus Cousins thing. But Ivan says, who would you trade Richaun Holmes for?
I still like Mo Bamba. I like PJ Washington. I'm even in favor of bringing Jakob Poeltl to the team before I bring DeMarcus Cousins on. So I would take him over DeMarcus.
He's having a good year.
Yeah, he is. He's had a good couple of years in San Antonio.
He's a starter, though.
So he is a starter. I think you could potentially play him next to Sabonis. I don't know how badly Mike Brown or what that would do to their system and how much everybody would be on board with doing that, but I think it's something that could potentially work.
Derek says he'd bring back DeMarcus Cousins to do an Island Boys duo with Calvin. That's funny.
Yeah, if we could make that happen, I would sign DeMarcus to a 10-day contract just for that.
Laban, are you a new person here? Welcome in, Laban. Laban says, I say the Kings should trade for Tobias Harris. That's interesting. I like Tobias Harris. He makes a lot of money.
Oh, I saw Jay Crowder's name in there. I would love Jay Crowder on this team. I think he'd be a good fit. Absolutely.
What do you think about Toby?
I would trade Rashawn Holmes for him.
What about Toby? Rashawn Holmes, Harrison Barnes for Toby?
I'm not so sure about that one. I mean, Tobias Harris makes a lot of money, so you're probably going to have to give up a good haul there to get him.
He can get buckets, though.
He can get buckets. That's true. Yeah, that's interesting. I'd have to maybe see what the deal would have to look like in order to, like, if you could get him for Rashawn Holmes and Harrison Barnes, but that's a deal I'd probably do.
Everybody's hating on me here in the chat for wanting to give DeMarcus Cousins a second chance. Come on,
Not
guys.
everybody. I saw some DeMarcus supporters in there as well.
Just because I'm saying give the guy a second chance doesn't mean I'm on his dick. Well, I don't know why all these people are saying I'm on DeMarcus Cousins' dick because I'm saying to give him a second chance. That shit's wild. Yeah, I like what PK says here. We can get Boogie for a 10-day contract. I like it.
Rashawn Holmes for Giannis? Yes, I'm all in on that one too.
I love all these other guys you're mentioning. I really do. Like, I would trade Rashawn Holmes for Giannis 10 times out of 10.
Of
you know,
course.
like, no doubt about it. He's going to make the team better. I agree with that. Jay Crowder, I like that. I like Mo Bamba. You know, I'll trade Rashawn for LeBron. You know, whatever it takes. But what I'm saying here about Boogie is this is a low risk, high reward play. It doesn't take anything to get this guy. You don't have to trade anybody. Like what JN says here, you could literally give him a 10-day contract. If you're happy, you keep going. If you're not, you move on. I think it's worth it at this point. I do. I really do.
Man, too soon with the Sabonis for Halliburton.
Neil says, I bet he would work on this team. I hope you're talking about Cousins because I totally agree. Jay Crowder, I would like Jay Crowder to be on this team. What do you think about Jay Crowder?
I do like Jay Crowder. I think that's definitely something worth looking at. He is, talk about a guy that's just sitting there for the taking right now. I don't know what it would take to get him. But, man, yeah, if you could deal – I don't think Rashawn Holmes would work anymore because they've got this guy from Australia. What's his name, like Jock Landale or something, who's backing up DeAndre Ayton now. And Callum. And, yeah, he's actually playing pretty well. So I don't think they're going to go for another center. But maybe you could get him somehow else.
Sean, what's up, Sean? Welcome in if you're just joining us. Kings win tonight, 120-114 over the bitch-ass Lakers. No LeBron. Kings win. We're in the playoffs. And, yeah, everybody's roasting me here in the chat because I'm saying we should give DeMarcus a second chance. I think it's ridiculous, man, what these people are saying out here. Honestly,
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. According to the bouncer, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Ivan says Rashawn for Mo Bamba. Dude, that would be a steal.
Sign me up.
I do not see the Magic doing that deal. It would definitely take more than Rashawn for Mo Bamba, but I like it. I like where your head's going. I really do. The bouncer says, I don't want Cousins because he talks down to 76-year-old reporters. Interesting. I didn't know. Shout out to Callum here. D's nuts. Appreciate you, Callum, for the super chat. We appreciate that. That 67 cents is going right into the beer fund. So thank you, Callum. We appreciate you. At least somebody's happy. At least somebody's happy that I'm talking about DeMarcus Cousins. Shit. We got to win tonight, and I'm getting roasted here on the stage because I'm trying to give somebody a second chance. Second chance. Bryce says, let's get Al Horford. Oh, this is an interesting one, Calvin, because like I've been talking about Al Horford. I thought this dude was over the hill 3 years ago. He obviously proved me wrong. Last year in the playoffs, he was killing it, dude. We saw him guarding KD in the first round, and they swept the Nets. This is an interesting situation. What do you think, Al Horford?
I don't see any reason for Boston to trade Al Horford to Sacramento. Give me a trade package that you're going to say, yeah, I think Boston would do that. We're talking about one of the best teams in the league. That's one of the best defensive teams in the league that has great chemistry with each other. They're even overcoming their coach, being suspended for the entire year. There is no way in hell they're trading Al Horford to the Sacramento Kings.
Dude, this dude is 36. He's on the last year of his contract. You're telling me the Boston Celtics wouldn't take a package of a guy they've been interested in Harrison Barnes and Richaun Holmes for Al Horford?
No. I would not do that if I was Boston.
Okay. What else would it take?
I'll be honest, if I'm what's his name? Brad Stevens, I don't think the Kings are a team that I'm trading with.
JN says I'd bring Bill Laimbeer to the Kings before Cousins.
I think the only player that the Celtics want to trade for is Kevin Durant. That's the only way they can make their team better, arguably.
Really?
That's what I think.
Okay. Interesting. Brian and Alfie Man both say Tacko Fall. PK says Tacko Fall. Dude, I love tacos. And I fall a lot. But what do you think Tacko Fall could do for this team? Because he's playing overseas, right? He's like the new Wilt Chamberlain or something.
He's in China, yeah.
How's he doing?
He's so tall. Sabonis is so strong.
They should have named him
That'd be a
Taco
good
Tall.
combo. Oh, I'm tripping apparently. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could give Tacko Fall a chance. Don't, get too seduced by his highlights from China, though. I mean, he wasn't a really great player in the NBA.
Laban says he's been around for a while. Sorry, I just noticed you, but welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all your support. All you guys do. We love hanging out with you guys. So this is one of the things, right, I gotta say it. What's today? It's 11/11, right? So 10 days ago was my 12-year, what they call Maui-versary, right? I moved to Maui 12 years ago, 10 days ago. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know. Anyways, I've been here for 12 years and 10 days. I'll put it that way. One of the biggest things about being here is we don't have a lot of sports, right? But there's a lot of sports fans. There's people coming here every day. We have thousands of people that come to Maui every single day. There's sports bars. There's lots of fun places. But there's no Kings fans. There's no Kings fans at all. So, the hardest thing for me, first off, was trying to find how I could watch the Kings games because they're not nationally televised games, right? And I can't get the local channel. I bought League Pass. It's blacked out because I'm technically in the West Coast region, 3,000 miles away. Anyways, long story. I don't mean to be ranting. But I found out how to get Kings games. I would watch all the games, but I got no Kings fans to talk to, man. I got Calvin. I had another friend named Kyle that lived here. Shout out to Kyle, big Kings fan. And we would just talk about the Kings all the time. And that was it. But now I got this channel. We've been on this channel for a couple years, and I love just hanging out and talking Kings basketball with all you guys. So I really appreciate you guys all for hanging out. And yeah, now I'm going to start roasting you guys again. But thank you guys all so much for hanging out. All right, how do other teams perceive Holmes right now? That's the thing. Yeah, Dirt and Russ, that is a really, really good point.
Good point. Very good point.
Holmes is what do they say when you try and like trade a player? They're like, oh, you're showcasing them, right? You play them for like a bunch of games. Like what did the Kings say or players said about the Kings? Like, oh, they're showcasing Tyrese Halliburton while Fox is out or whatever to try and get him traded. Did the Kings need to showcase Richaun Holmes to help increase his trade value? Or you think teams are kind of like, he just doesn't, he's the same guy, he just doesn't have the opportunities right now?
I don't know about showcasing a guy. I mean, this team seems like they're coming together right now, right? Like they're playing a lot better as a team. So the idea of showcasing somebody, that's usually for a team that's not very good. They're losing a bunch of games and the trade deadline is approaching, and you're trying to unload a player that you don't want anymore. So I don't really like that method. As far as why he's not working on the team, I just think it's Mike Brown's system. That's the only thing I can come up with, because it's clear to me that Mike Brown wants a big man that he can run offense through, both a guy that can look to create offense for himself or is a good passer, a good guy at finding, the open cutter. And that's not Richaun Holmes' game. I mean, yes, you can say, okay, look, just play him with Davion and run pick and roll, try to get Davion going to the rim and Holmes trailing for the oop or the finish. And yes, that's a good idea, but again, I don't think that is what Mike Brown wants to run. I don't think that's the system that he wants to play. So that's, I think, the biggest problem that Richaun Holmes has to overcome right now.
Yeah, great point. Matthew says we got to look at the strength of schedule so far for each team. The Bucks have the absolute easiest of the league so far. Yeah, and they're also a really, really good team that's missing their second best player. I wasn't able to find that, but I did find remaining strength of schedule. This is on Tankathon, one of my favorite websites. If you're a Kings fan, you better know about Tankathon. I've been looking at this website for years, trying to figure out who we're going to draft to try and help save the franchise. Luka Doncic. Anyways, looking at this remaining strength of schedule, I like how they clarify here. A high strength of schedule is good for tanking. So number one on this list, and the SOS is the average win percentage of all the teams you're facing in the remaining games. So Sacramento's got the third toughest schedule for the remaining games. That's rough, Calvin. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough. You got Golden State.
Yes, and this list is also going to change a lot between now and April, right? Like there's 70 games left. So.
And also, one thing to keep on mind here, right?
But one thing I think it's good to point out is that, look, out of those top 5 teams, 4 of them are in the same division.
Yep. And also, I was going to point out here, under toughest opponents, they got the Utah Jazz. We still don't really know what the hell the Utah Jazz are, right? They got the best record in the West right now, but are they going to be able to keep that up? Are they going to be that team? We don't know. The Kings play the Utah Jazz 4 times throughout the season. So if they end up not being a great team, this could definitely shift here. You got 3 games against Portland. Obviously, they've done well early on. So these could definitely all change here. But not looking too good. But hey, you gotta be a good team, and you gotta beat good teams to make the playoffs. So that's what the Kings are doing. This hazy IPA is making me burp here. Ivan's lulling at people. Bryce says Bol. He's obviously comfortable scoring around the Kings. Kyle, what do you think about Bol? Because I think he was actually one of the most underrated pickups this offseason.
I like Bol a lot, but I think Orlando does too. I mean, he's worked his way into the starting lineup there. That's why I say go after Mo Bamba, because he seems to be the odd man out. And I like his skill set on this Sacramento Kings team, a guy that can space the floor, still give Sabonis the room to create inside, and at the free throw line, and can protect the rim as well. I think it's a good fit.
Shout out to Royal Brenda. Royal Brenda says, no LeBron, please. Yeah, we don't need that old man on our team. The bouncer still wants Ben Simmons. No surprise there. Oh man, I'm so behind, Calvin. I'm just catching up with all these people. Trade Sabonis for Halliburton. Sorry, I got to roll through all these. Trade a big bag of balls for Simmons. Interesting. Crowder for Holmes. Sorry, I'm going to keep going through here. Somebody wants Boogie. Whoa. I missed something. Somebody wants Boogie.
Oh, man. Let's move on from the Boogie train. Can we?
Oh, man. 60 likes.
We'll
Let's
just
go.
agree to disagree.
Let's go. If you haven't hit that like button already, smash that like button. We appreciate you guys all hanging out. Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving.
I love this comment. Imagine LaMelo and the Victor French guy on the same team. That would be pretty cool to watch.
Here's a good one here. Bryce says Calvin tripping. I like it.
Tripping.
I like
Always,
it.
man. always.
Are you tripping or you falling? You Tacko falling or you tripping? Oh, here we go. Holmes, Barnes, and a first-round pick, which I don't think we have a first-round pick to trade for like 4 years or something, for Reddish, Hartenstein, and don't Google, Fournier, Evan Fournier. That's tough. That's tough. Hey, if you guys haven't done it yet,
I have to think about
Google Fournier, Fournier. Google Fournier and turn off your filters and let me know how it was, because his nickname's Don't Google. Sorry, Calvin, go for it.
No, that's okay. I'm not really sure. I have to give that trade more thought. And Matthew, to answer your question, that's a tough one. I don't know what you'd have to give up to get Mo Bamba, because I think what the Kings would ideally want to give up maybe isn't necessarily what the Magic are looking for. They're a team that's pretty deep at the wing position. So you might have to give up one of these guards, like maybe a Davion Mitchell even. I'm not sure. It would have to be multiple players, because what did we say Mo Bamba makes, like $10 million or something?
I can look it up.
I forget. But I think ideally if you're Sacramento, you want to be trading either Harrison Barnes or Rashawn Holmes, or a combination of the two, right? But to me, Orlando, it doesn't make sense to take on Rashawn Holmes when you've already got all these big guys. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to take on Harrison Barnes either when you've got Franz Wagner, who's an emerging star in his second year. You've now got Paolo Banchero, who they play all over the floor. So that's a tough one. I don't know. But yeah, again, another good point here. Maybe Orlando doesn't value Mo Bamba that much, and you could get him for expiring contracts like Harrison Barnes. I don't know.
Mo Bamba's $10.3 million this year. But also, it's important to note next year's $10.3 million, also the last year of his deal, but it's only partially guaranteed. So he's almost like an expiring contract in himself. And then also, I think it's important to point out, like you said, right, like bringing in big guys when you already got bigs, especially if you sign like DeMarcus Cousins, you got another big there. Do you really want to be bringing in more bigs? How many bigs is too big, Calvin?
I don't know. Ask Orlando. They've got a lot of them.
Ninja Style says it's a no for me on Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I'm not trading shit for Kyrie, man.
Yeah, no Kyrie.
I like Kyrie a lot. I just can't trust him to be available. That's the biggest thing for me. I just can't trust him to be available. All right, sorry. I'm scrolling through here. Alfie Man says a trophy. He wants a trophy. If only these guys could talk about the trade I made. Broken heart. Dude, what trade are you talking about?
Which trade? Sorry.
Oh, I think this was
missed stuff, guys. The comments go pretty fast in this show, which is great.
No, this was the one for what's his name? We were just talking about it. Fuck, I'm blanking right now.
Alex Len and Terrence Davis for Mo Bamba. I would do that again if I'm the Kings.
Post your trade again. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up, dude. I'm trying to get past all these so I can get in real time, dude. I'm back in time, dude. I'm in a time machine right now. I'm looking at all these comments from a little bit ago, so give me a second. Sean says best center Kings can get is Miles Turner. We talked about Miles Turner. I'm all on the Miles Turner train. I like Miles Turner. I think it could work. Calvin's concern is he wants a bigger role on a team, and he's afraid it's going to be the same old.
My concern is convincing a guy who's going to be one of the most coveted free agents next season to stick around with Sacramento when he already said he wasn't happy with his, not necessarily that he doesn't like Sabonis or didn't like playing with him. He just wanted more of a role. And I think if you bring him to Sacramento, even though it's a good role, it's going to be the same role. So then trying to convince him to re-sign, it probably doesn't happen.
Shout out to Bryce here. Bryce is sending us Valentine's Day cards. Thank you, Bryce. We appreciate the super chats from you. Imagine showcasing Holmes, then missing the playoffs because of it. Yeah, definitely don't want to do that. Jim says, screw showcasing. I want to freaking win. If you want to showcase, call Bob right. Barker. Yeah, great point.
You play to win the game.
Jim, I got a funny story for you because you seem like a Bob Barker fan, or maybe maybe you're just a fan of the show. Price is Right. I don't really know, but I when I first moved here, one of my friends moved here a year after me. So this was probably about 18 months in living here. And dude, he won the Price is Right. It's hilarious. You can look up the video. It's on YouTube under Podium Knockdown. His name was Jason. He was on the Price is Right. He won the final showcase and he won a boat. And the taxes on his prizes were too high that he didn't have money for it. So he literally had to sell his boat to pay the taxes. And then he took the rest of the money and moved to Hawaii. So we'd be going out at bars and having a great time. Get home at like 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd be all spifflicated, as Calvin would say. And we'd be watching Price is Right, watching his old video over and over. He had it on a VHS tape, which I guess tells you how long ago that was. But that was hilarious. And it was not with Bob Barker. That's what I always ask him. I'm like, was it Bob Barker? And he's like, no, it wasn't Bob Barker. Dennis says, I can't get over how good Banchero is. Yeah, he's good. He's really, really good. What do you think of how many wins this team will get now that we see some games? This is an interesting comment from PK here, Calvin, because you and I have been brushing off that comment all offseason, right? Everyone's like, how many wins? How good is this team going to be? And you're just like, I need more time. I got to figure out exactly what this team's looking like. Calvin, you've had a good chance here. Like if you ask me what I'm going to say, right? The Kings are going to win every single game for the rest of the year. They're going to be the best team in the league and probably win the championship. But I know you're more of a realist than I am. The Kings are currently 5-6, 11 games into the season. Give me your end of the year prediction.
I still think 40 wins is the barometer for this team. I think 40 wins is a realistic benchmark that they can hit that puts them in a position to make the playoffs, whether it's play-in tournament or 40 wins is probably not enough to get the 6th seed. But again, I think that teams are going to beat each other up in the West, so overall records might be a little bit down. But if they can get to 40 wins, I'll be very happy.
Ninja's laughing at Bob Barker. Bob Barker is better than Drew Carey. I'm just going to put that there. 40 wins, Calvin?
40 wins.
That's it?
That's it? That's the most wins they've had in how many years?
Dude, that's 4 games below 500, man. Come on.
4 games below 500?
Right? No, you're right. Sorry,
there?
2 games. Math is not my specialty, especially after I've had some of these hazy IPAs. Two games. You're right. 2 games under 500. Where did I come up with a 4, dude? I have no idea.
I'm not sure where you came up with that. You added a couple games in there. We don't need more regular season games.
What I was thinking was the play-in games. But I guess I was calculating.
You mean the games where statistics go into purgatory and don't count? I don't think those wins count either.
Dude, is there going to be a category for play-in stats? Like, okay, what if De'Aaron Fox has 110 points in follow me here.
Doesn't count.
Just follow me here. What if De'Aaron Fox has 101 points in a play-in game? Is he the leader in NBA history in most points per game, or is that just not even count?
Nope, there'll be an asterisk next to his record.
Loa woke up, dude. She's stretching. Oh, she's staring at me. Guys. All right, let's get through the rest of this thing real quick before Loa gets angry. You won't like her when she's angry. I think I missed another super chat in here. Also, Sean, thank you, Sean. We appreciate you. I got to scroll here to the bottom and get... Dude, I'm just going to catch up, dude. I got to catch up. More people talking about Boogie. San Antonio point differential is minus 5.3. Ours is 0.5. That's a good stat, Matthew. Matthew always knows the stats, especially if they have a 5 or a 3 in it. Matthew, did you enter in to win our $250 gift card? I just want to know from you because I'm pretty sure you did. I can't remember if you entered it or not. But if you guys are interested, we're giving away a $250 Fanatics gift card. It's on our other channel, Basketball at the Bar, where we talk about the entire NBA, and we're live every single Wednesday night. So if you want to enter in to win that $250 Fanatics gift card, potentially get one of these new awesome King City Edition jerseys, all you got to do is go to that channel, Basketball at the Bar. There's a link in, I think, in the description of this channel. There's a video called Fanatics. Watch the video. It's less than a minute. Comment your team, your favorite team down below, and subscribe to the channel. You're entered in to win that contest. We're going to give that gift card away when we reach 1,000 subscribers on that channel. So we're almost there. Make sure you guys definitely get in on that for sure. My mama said that they need to
DeMarcus Cousins jersey.
Trade for Mike Conley. The Bouncers' mama said that they need to trade for Mike Conley, Calvin. You know what else she said? Crocodiles are ornery because they have all them teeth and no toothbrush.
That is true. She did say that.
What do you think about Mike Conley? He doesn't really fit the team.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Kings really have a need for him, unless you're going to totally swap out, Davion Mitchell for Mike Conley and go a different route with your backup point guard. But I'm not so sure that I would do that.
Dude, Charlie's here hitting them out of the park, dude. This is a diamond in the rough. I like this comment here. Would you trade Holmes for Joe Harris? Calvin, this is a good question. I like Joe Harris a lot. I really do like Joe Harris. Would the Nets do this? I'm not so sure. Sacramento, I'm doing it.
The Nets might do it, actually. They're pretty thin on the inside. I don't know. Joe Harris, I'd have to look up his stats this year. I know he's coming off of an injury, but I don't think he's been playing that well.
My mama said we need to get Mama Holmes on the show to talk about his son's playing time.
We do need her on the show.
I would love to have her on here.
So Joe Harris is okay. It's only 10 games. He started 6 of them. He's playing 25 minutes a game. He's shooting a career worst from 3, 32%. Yes, he's coming back from an injury, trying to work himself back in, all that stuff. That's an interesting one. Interesting trade.
I'd do it. Give me Joe Harris. I'll take him. Alex Len and Terrence Davis for Mo Bamba. I like TD a lot. I would not really want to give him up, but if I had to for Mo Bamba, I think I'd probably do that deal. Derek says trade Alex Jones for Kyrie Irving. What do you think about that?
No, thank you.
Dude, I got a funny story. So I had to pick up Joe at the airport today, right? Because he's here for the tournament. He's going to be doing some filming. We're going to a wedding tomorrow, all that stuff. He said that he was in the airport. He was sitting next to Alex Jones at a bar. I don't remember exactly which airport it was. It was probably LAX or in Arizona. But he said he was talking to Alex Jones the whole time. He said the dude was extremely funny. He said Alex Jones was really tired because he'd been traveling a lot. And I think he was going to Europe to watch some soccer match or something like that. But he bought him a couple Bloody Marys. So I heard Alex Jones is a cool guy in real life. Nice. I've watched him a few times on Joe Rogan. Interesting guy. But according to Joe, Alex Jones is a good guy.
Okay.
My guy Sean's here. We definitely need Mo Bamba. Yeah. Who's Shannon? Bouncer? Oh, yeah, PK. Mama said Gators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. Shout out to PK. Dude, PK is smelling what I'm cooking, Calvin. Austin Reeves for Barnes. Hell no.
Good night,
I'm
Charlie.
not in with that. Dude, I'm so far behind. I got to catch up here. Hold on. Okay. Bouncer, Google Alex Jones. You'll find out who he is. Charlie's heading out. Good night, Charlie. 3 a.m. in Charlotte. Charlotte. Interesting. Good night, Charlie. Thanks for hanging out, dude. You're a true pro. Staying out. Dennis said he lost everything after that lawsuit. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Crazy. Just because you're sociable doesn't make you a good guy. Yeah, Matthew, that's a good life tip. Definitely a good life tip. All right, Calvin, I think that pretty much closes out everything here in the chat. I'm not seeing any other really good, interesting questions. Anything else that's on your mind here? F the Lakers, was that you?
F the Lakers, that was me, man. Tito wanted the F the Lakers chant. I was trying to give him some support.
F the Lakers. F the Lakers. PK wants to know what bigs are available. All right, hold on one second, dude.
I wish
Luckily,
I had the answer, man.
I got one of my best friends here, Google. Dude, there's not a lot, man. I mean, you got DeMarcus Cousins. I know he's available. You got LaMarcus Aldridge.
No, thank you.
He's available. We got, I guess you wouldn't consider Carmelo a big. No, this is old, dude. Free agency tracker. No.
I'll give you some. I have no idea if he's available, and he is currently rostered on the Washington Wizards. But I saw a lot of people on Twitter today talking about maybe trading for Kyle Kuzma. How do you feel about that?
That's because, did you see how well he played last night?
He's played that well almost the whole year. He's been
Did he?
lights out for them. Yeah.
Dude, he had like 30.
Let me give you Kyle Kuzma's stats this year. Give me one second.
Dude, he had 30, what was it, 36 last night.
Dude, he's been killing it, man.
We tried to trade for him already, Calvin. We tried, dude.
Well, maybe try again. He's averaging a career high 18.8 points per game, shooting 35% from three. Not shooting great from the field overall, but 7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, about half a steal, half a block a game. I don't know, man. I kind of like that idea.
Dust. Dirt and Rust. I keep calling him Dust. Dirt and Rust says Holmes shades killed his superpowers. Dang. Couldn't agree more. I need you guys all to just spam the chat. I'd love to just end the show with you guys all saying F the Lakers in the chat. Just come on. Let's all do it together. We can all write F the Lakers. Let's get a whole chat, a chant going in the chat. A chant, Calvin. F the Lakers. I love to see it. F the Lakers. F the Lakers. F the Lakers. Barry, who you got in a fight, Draymond Green or 1989 Rick Mahorn? I'm definitely not taking
Rick
Draymond
Mahorn
Green.
is knocking him out.
I'm not taking Draymond Green in that one. It's just because I'm not a Draymond Green guy. Anyways, I think that about ends the show tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've had a wonderful time here. I know you have as well, Calvin. You guys are all awesome. We appreciate you all so much. Don't forget to smash up that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Dude, Kings win tonight, guys. Kings win. Dude, sorry, I got to hit all these shows, dude. It's hiding all these comments. I'm just clicking like show. F the Lakers. F the Lakers. Show.
Okay.
I should just take that F word out as banned on this channel. F the Lakers. F the Lakers. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We had a great time. Kings beat the Lakers tonight, 120-114. De'Aaron Fox is making the All-Star team this year. And the Sacramento Kings are going to beat the Warriors on Sunday. So thank you guys so much for watching. Calvin, I'm going to give you the last word, buddy.
F the Lakers.
F the Lakers. Thanks, guys.